I made this video because I followed a spark. So while walking the gene keys, specifically the pearl sequence, I came across the story of Parzival. Richard spoke about it with depth and reverence, and I had no knowledge of it really, other than passing references in pop culture. His passion sparked a curiosity in me, one that led me to dig deeper. But when I went looking on YouTube for videos, essays, interpretations, what I found was either too literal or too lost in language. No one was talking about the actual transformation, the alchemy, the spiral, the mystery, the esotericism. And that's what this story is. It's not just about a boy and a cup. It's about the moment you miss, the silence that wounds you, and the grace that brings it all back around. So this is my offering. My attempt to honor the depth I know is woven through this tale, and to show you how it's not just a legend, it's your life. It's my life. It's the spiral we're all walking. So if you're digging into the deeper meanings of our mythology to uncover bigger esoteric truths, let me show you what I found. You've probably heard of the Holy Grail, right? The cup of Christ, eternal life, the final treasure of every seeker's quest. But what if I told you the Grail isn't a thing at all? It's not something you find, it's a moment, a question. And there's one story, the legend of Percival, that shows us what happens when you don't ask it. So this is a story about silence, about missing your moment, and about the strange sacred mercy of second chances. Let's begin. Percival was raised in the woods. His father and uncles, knights, had all been killed in battle. So his mother, trying to shield him from the same fate, fled with him to the wilderness and cut him off totally from the world. No swords, no stories, no truth, just protection, just silence. But one day, Percival sees a knight passing through the forest, gleaming, powerful, radiant. He thinks it's an angel at first, and something stirs. So he leaves, naive, unready, completely innocent. He meets a stranger on his journey. This is a man who tells him to keep his mouth shut. He says, don't ask questions, don't speak unless spoken to. And when he arrives at the mysterious Grail Castle, when the sacred procession unfolds before his eyes, he remembers those words, so he says nothing. He doesn't ask about the bleeding spear. He doesn't ask about the wounded king. And he doesn't ask about the Grail. He wakes up in an empty castle, completely alone. The chance to heal, gone. But the story doesn't end there. After that night in the Grail Castle, after the silence, the missed moment, he wanders for years, trying to become a better knight, trying to prove himself, trying to figure out what he did wrong. He loses faith, he questions God, and he forgets the Grail entirely until it starts to whisper again, because what is meant for you is always seeking you. He doesn't find the Grail Castle again. It finds him. Not when he's accomplished enough, not when he's punished himself enough, but when he's finally ready. When he's let go of the image, when he's cracked open enough to ask, not from pride, but from love. So, just like that, the castle reappears, and this time, he asks the question. So let's pause here, because this isn't just a story, it's a parable of the soul. The Grail is not a thing, it's the moment you dare to ask, not from the mind, but from compassion. But the first time, Parzival doesn't ask because he obeys, because he defers, because he handed his authority to someone else. Sound familiar? It's what happens when we follow the rules at the cost of our truth, when we silence ourselves because someone told us it wasn't the right time, when we override our knowing in exchange for approval or safety. And that moment when we don't speak, that's the real wound. Not the one on the king's body, the one on our voice, our sovereignty, our soul. And here's the mystery. The knight and the wounded king are both you. the seeker and the sufferer, the one who left and the one who stayed. You don't need someone else to fix you. You need to reconcile with the part of yourself that you left behind. When Parzival asks the question, he doesn't just heal the king, he reclaims the missing part of himself. The cycle completes, and in that moment of self-recognition, he becomes what he was seeking. Because the Grail doesn't reward separation, it answers wholeness. Ask and you shall receive. Speak and you become. So when the moment returns, when the question finally rises, Percival doesn't just heal the king. He doesn't just restore the Grail realm. He becomes the Grail king. The silent boy raised in isolation, the one who missed his moment, who wandered in shame, becomes the one who holds the Grail. Not because he forced it, not because he was perfect, but because he remained open. Because grace met him where effort couldn't. He walked the spiral, fell apart, came back again. Because when you walk the spiral with humility, grace does the rest. And that is how the story ends. Not with conquest, but with coronation. And that is exactly what the Ritual of Light is designed to do. Not to give you answers, not to make you worthy, not to help you chase something outside yourself, but to make you ready. Ready to see what's already trying to find you. Ready to ask the question you were once too afraid to voice. Ready to become the version of you who doesn't force the door, because the door opens for you. The ritual doesn't take you to the Grail castle. It teaches you how to walk until the castle reveals itself again. You don't manifest the Grail, you become the frequency that calls it home. If this resonates, if you're in that moment right now, if you feel like you missed your chance or stayed silent for too long, know this. The Grail returns. The question will rise again. And your voice, it still works. If you want to walk this spiral with intention and prepare for its next arrival, the Ritual of Light is open. Because this isn't mythology, it's memory. And you're ready to remember. Your story isn't over yet. The Grail is closer than you think. You'll find links to everything in the video description. And thank you for delving deeper into this important piece of European mythology with me.